COVID-19 has hit countries around the world in different ways. Now that the impact of the first wave is becoming clear across the world, it is possible to make the first direct comparisons of the picture in similar countries up until now. The G7 is the group of wealthy Western industrialised nations whose leaders meet for annual, high-profile summits and whose economic performance is regularly ranked.
BBC News has calculated the official counts of COVID deaths per 100,000 population over the course of this first wave of the pandemic. Japan, Canada and Germany have had very few deaths, especially on this measure. The USA, when you account for population, is in the middle, just behind France. Then there's Italy, and worst hit is the United Kingdom, with over 60 COVID deaths per 100,000 population. Now, it's possible that some of those differences are down to the way things are measured. So another way at looking at this is deaths over and above the average level in recent years, what's known as excess deaths. But the picture here is the same, the UK the hardest hit. In fact, on this measure, it's markedly worse, the United Kingdom, with nearly 100 per 100,000 excess deaths. Italy, which was first hit in Europe, on 75, Germany on single figures per 100,000 population.
But one way of making that comparison is to look at the percentage of excess deaths as a proportion of usual deaths.
This measure doesn't change the G7 ranking. The UK is still by some distance the worst hit country. But when you use this measure to compare to other hard hit European countries, there is a slight change of picture.
Spain is the worst hit of the major European nations, a little above the UK, Italy and Belgium, with the Dutch and the French following.
These numbers start to tell a story about a deathly pandemic wave that hits broadly similar countries in very different ways. Faisal Islam, BBC News.